Hello friends, this is Jane Odom. I am live today here on the AAC Language Lab, and we are going to talk about some writing today and how we can get our kids active with learning language through the process of writing. So the video that we posted up today was about a story template called Ouch. So I thought this was a good template to utilize right now because a lot of our kids might be wanting to talk about how they're feeling about things that are scaring them, or maybe they've been in a hospital, or maybe they've fallen down and got a boo-boo and they want to talk about it. It's always like really nice to be able to talk about things that might have been scary. So what we suggest that you do for the Ouch project is we first provide a graphic organizer. And so the graphic organizer is going to allow you to put all your ideas. And this is a way where students can kind of like put all their crazy ideas in one place. Hello, Elena. Hello, Catherine. Nice to see you guys. So this is meant to, I miss you too, Elena. So this is meant to be a place where you can put multiple ideas. And it's kind of like a way to brainstorm. And so it's kind of nice because the student can explore their device. And guess what? There's no age limit on this. So this can be done with younger kids, and this can be done with older students. This could be done, like I could use this if I needed to. All right. So the first thing we wanted to talk about is what are we going to write about? What is that problem? What happened? Was I in the hospital? Was, did something happen and I fell down? I cut myself? Whatever that problem is. And you can put multiple ideas here for the student to choose from. All right. The other cool thing about a graphic organizer is it can be at whatever level that student is at. So if you're working with a beginning communicator, they can just put single words. All right, if they're working with somebody that has been using their device for a while, then we can put more of those ideas. All right, I've also used these within a group. So maybe I've got a whole class of kids, and we could talk about things that have been happening together as a classroom that might be an Ouch story. You can kind of do this a variety of different ways. So then once we determine, what the problem is, and then we can pick one of those, then we're going to need to talk about the setting. Where did it happen? All right. And then we can also put who was involved with that. So we can add all of our characters, and we can put the details of what happened. And then we can have our solution at the bottom. Hello, Diana. It's like, that's so cool that some of you guys come every day. I think that's awesome. Thank you so much. So again, this is just meant to be like a brainstorming sheet. And then once we get all of these up here, then the student can pick and choose which ones that they use for their story. What's wonderful about using writing as a springboard for learning language is, you can use delete and edit anything, and you can do it a variety of different ways. So the student can put everything down and get the general idea, and then maybe kind of, let's talk about putting that into a sentence. Oh, maybe we can talk about a punctuation mark. Maybe we can talk about making that sentence a little bit more descriptive. Like, let's add some describing words to that. So you can really do a lot of really nice teaching, all right? And so then they can actually put their story together. So this template, you can either use the device to type in, and I see Anthony is here with us. Now, just give you an Anthony Arnold, actually, I don't know if Anthony, if you're still doing tech support for us, but he's one of our tech support guys, and so you may be talking to Anthony on the phone when you ask him about computer emulation, because if the device can do computer emulation, then this writing template has fillable text boxes that you can actually use the device to write directly into that, and that means that the device would be an alternative keyboard. So once it's connected to the computer, they can use their device to actually write. So, or if they don't have that option, if they're using an iPad or a lower end device, then you can just simply write that in for them, okay? So then once you get this written, again, you can edit that. So you can talk about making a sentence. You can talk about making a sentence more descriptive. You can talk about punctuation. You can talk about, how to structure a story depending on the level of that student. Again, if your student is a beginner, taking that single word that they said and helping them make that into a more concrete idea. Really cool. Once you get this written, the best thing to do is then have them tell it to somebody, read it out loud to somebody. And that's like, have a story slam. So I talk about that with the poetry. It was like having a poetry slam, and so I worked in a classroom where the students all wrote their stories. Then they went to the kindergarten class and they read their stories. We worked at an adult day program where they wrote books and stories, and they got to go across the street to the school and read to the students at the school. So it was just this win-win because they got to share their stories, but then they also got to build some awareness of who they were and what it was like to use a communication device for these little kids that just thought it was all absolutely fascinating. So the Ouch story is just one of many templates that is included with the AAC Language Lab. And so again, you can print these out, use them multiple times. You can, again, have the student write directly in there with their communication system. So it's all like absolutely fabulous. So that is today's little mini tip.